And let's see if we click on here. Not. Okay, we should be on YouTube. Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Step inside, step inside. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Um Tonight, first night of the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 15th day of July. And tonight's title, Trump makes a dangerous vice presidential pick. Marjorie Taylor Greene calls for Civil War II. And we'll take a look back at Butler, Pennsylvania, in this past weekend. Again, thank you for clicking on. Always greatly appreciated. And we're just getting things started here. As always, we want to know what you think, so feel free to hop into the chat and express yourself. Marjorie Taylor Greene, this poster says she's using her office to incite violence against citizens of the United States of America. She's committing sedition. Greene should be removed from Congress and immediately arrested. Her Twitter post from earlier, we don't need World War III. What we need is Civil War II. That is, you know, the idea is supposed to be toning down the rhetoric of political violence. Political violence is bad on all sides. I don't know. Maybe she didn't get the memo. There's not a lot that is going to be done about that, with the exception of, can she be defeated in office? Well, meet Sean Harris. Sean's the Democrat who seeks to oust Marjorie Taylor Greene. He is a retired brigadier general, and why is this not coming on? Hang with me here for a second while this loads. Here we go. This is, let me make sure we're doing it. Yes, we are doing it. Let me get off of here so we get a broader picture of everything. Again, thank you all for being here. Just getting rolling. This is Sean Harris. This is who's running for the office that is currently held by Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, those of you that watch the show know I don't do this. I don't promote in any way, shape, or form normally political candidates. But those of you that watch the show know I also was in this gentleman's situation, a qualified, loyal opposition to the sitting member of Congress. And those that watch those that watch this know that he is probably not getting any help at all from the DCCC, Democratic Committee to elect Congress members. He's probably spending his own money. I need to reach out to him some other way. I tried on Twitter and it didn't work, because I think I know what he's going through. So with that being said, if you'd like to help him beat Marjorie Taylor Greene, just because she's calling for civil war, and see, because of that, because of things like that, that's why the Democrats want to keep her in. That's why they're not going to help him. They don't want her out. They want to keep her in because they raise money every time she says some stupid ass shit. but that's bad for our country. Okay, in my opinion. Maybe you don't think that way, and that's fine if you don't. That's why we are America at the moment. If you want to donate, SeanForGeorgia.com, ShawnForGeorgia, all one word.com, and hit the red donate button. Or you can, if you are someone that has donated in the past, possibly you've used Act Blue. That is this page. Sean for Georgia is the Act Blue page. Again, I don't do this. I don't do this. Those that watch this know that. And the reason I'm doing it now is because I've been in this guy's shoes. I mean, not being a brigadier general, retired brigadier general, but in being in a very winnable congressional district that is suppressed by um, by the corporate wings of both parties, honestly. But in this case, by the corporate wing, the institutionalists. Um, so, if you want to help him, there you go. That's how you could possibly do that. And if you want to know more, his website, we just had that up a few seconds ago. And thank you for joining. We are just getting rolling along. Again, tonight, Trump's made his vice presidential pick. And it is, for those that do not know, it is J.D. Vance. Um, Possibly, it says in the title of tonight's show, it says Trump makes a dangerous VP pick. Um, why is it dangerous? Well, it's dangerous on a lot of different levels. It depends on how you analyze it. From a strategic level, politically, this pick does nothing. It doesn't bring anybody potentially new into the voter, into the Trump category. Um, it's he's probably more radical than Trump, which is dangerous in my personal opinion. And again, it doesn't bring anybody new in. There are no new voters that are going to go, oh well, all right, now that JD Vance, especially if you don't know anything about him, hang out because I'm going to show you some stuff. Um, he's not going to bring anybody new to the party. Um, he didn't pick a member of the black community. He didn't pick a female. Um, he picked another white man, and that doesn't broaden their coalition in any way, shape, or form. Now, he's also dangerous to Trump. Um, why? Well, he is more uh, unsavory and ambitious than the worst Democrat of my lifetime, which was Lyndon Baines Johnson. All right. Uh, Mitt Romney said he's the worst person um, in Congress, and that means, and what I'm about to show you is just going to, I'm telling you now, I'm going to show you the receipts coming up. I'm going to show you why I'm telling you all these things. He will do anything for power, and that includes uh, getting rid of Donald Trump. Now, he is also dangerous to peace in our country because QAnon is pissed. QAnon's pissed. The QAnon people, heads exploding, hair on fire. Not only not John F. Kennedy Jr., not only not Baron Trump, signifying the dictatorship they all crave, but not even General Mike Flynn. It's J.D. Vance, a member, a global elitist, someone with business interests all around the world, just like Donald Trump. And they're all railing about this. And plus, he is also allegedly, he is a administrator on the Heritage Foundation, writers of the Project 2025. He's a administrator on the Heritage Foundation website and a very good friend of the president of the Heritage Foundation that said, we're in the middle of a second revolution and it'll be bloodless as long as the left allows it, is exactly what he said. But as long as nobody that opposes dictatorial regime gets in the way. And I'm having a feeling there would be people that would do that. Hopefully we do not get to that place. But let's start out with, hold on, I can't do that. Let's start out with this about J.D. Vance. Oh, I hope this is loaded. Whoa! Okay. Well, let's just listen to a little bit. This is from the Young Turks.
For a Senate seat in Ohio. And it turns out that a former buddy of his has leaked some text messages that he sent in regard to Donald Trump dating back to 2016. Now, JD Vance was very critical of Trump. That's not a secret. But it turns out that he even compared Donald Trump to Hitler. So Josh McLaurin is the lawmaker from Georgia who decided to share the screenshot. He says the screenshot below is JD Vance's unfiltered explanation from 2016 of the breakdown in Republican politics that he now personally is trying to exploit. The America's Hitler bit is at the end. The public deserves to know the magnitude of this guy's bad faith.
Okay. What is the magnitude of this guy's bad faith? Well, I actually have the entire email, and I've got, oh, okay, good. Just got this in. Here's the exact, but I'm not surprised by Trump's rise, and I think the entire party has only itself to blame, meaning the Republican Party. We are, whether we like it or not, the party of low income, low education white people. And I've been saying for a long time that we need to offer those people something, and hell, maybe even appeal to working class black people, or a demagogue would. We are now at that point. Trump is the fruit of the party's collective neglect. I go back and forth between thinking Trump is a cynical asshole like Nixon, who wouldn't be that bad and might even prove useful, or that he's America's Hitler. How's that for discouraging? So, this is who J.D. Vance is. This is who Trump has picked as his running mate. This is just one of many things that are going to be coming up about J.D. Vance. So this is a dangerous pick. Again, it's dangerous for Republicans that want to win, because this isn't going to bring the middle in. This isn't going to bring the Republicans that aren't MAGA in, and it's sure not going to bring Democrats that are bothered or uh, concerned by Joe Biden's age. None of those demographics are going to go, yeah, now I'm going to vote for Trump because he picked J.D. Vance. That makes him seem reasonable. No, not going to happen. So he's bad for Trump, which is all right. Um, and he's also dangerous for Trump. And oh, again, we got to remember that um, just a few days ago there was an incident, and we're going to go back to that. Butler, Pennsylvania. Right here we got Senator Mitt Romney. I don't know that I can disrespect someone more than J.D. Vance. So this is not going to bring in the Adam Kinzingers, the um, Republicans on the um, on the cusp, thinking, will I vote, hold my nose and vote for Trump, or hold my nose and vote for Biden, or will I vote for Kennedy? More and more is coming out that that's not going to happen. However, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Bobby has changed so much. Bobby Jr., when I was involved in politics heavily on a national scale, um, Bobby was doing the Clean Rivers thing, and very valiant project I felt at that time, and had the opportunity to meet with him, and he just seems like such a completely different person now. I don't know. Let's see. All right. Um, Let me go back. Let's just start with our bookmarks here, and kind of work backwards. Um, I'm talking to myself here, producing as we're doing this. So Donald Trump appears alongside his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, at the Republican National Convention. Former president has a bandage on his ear after the assassination attempt. Um, he played golf yesterday. Um, I don't know. Former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, on Fox, has this to say, which will allow me to catch a real quick drink.
I'm getting from a number of sources that people are feeding to me their information, obviously, because they want to fix it. They're concerned, and I think you're going to see a lot of whistleblowers. I'm hearing there were very, very few. I don't want to give an exact number, but very few actual, I don't think anyone else has reported this, actual Secret Service post standers at that site. That they were temp HSI, right, Homeland Security folks, which they're great folks. I'm not knocking them, but that's not what they do specifically. We do protection, and we're trained for that. So I'm hearing that. I'm also hearing that the counter sniper team, that they had a problem seeing over the elevation. That's why I didn't engage right away.
Oh, come on.
But that's not the problem. The problem, well, it's the problem, but that's not the real. The problem is, where the hell was the aerial visual support? Why was there no helicopter? Why was there no drone? Why was there no FLIR? Why was there no thermal, forward-looking infrared? How the hell is the crowd acting as the freaking counter surveillance operation?
I know, if that's the best asset you have is random Trump supporters telling police that there's a guy with a gun, what technology are they deploying? They're bragging about they have all this new technology. I didn't see it.
I'm getting from...
If you haven't checked it out, watch last night's episode. Was it real or was it staged? Black Swan event that didn't exactly go as planned because Trump tilted his head. A lot of questions asked in last night's episode. All right, let's see what the internet is saying tonight. Marjorie Taylor Greene used her platform at the Republican National Convention tonight to incite and stoke division among millions of Americans watching. That's according to Sean Harris. Again, Sean for Congress, Sean for Georgia, I think it was his campaign site, Sean for Georgia, and Sean Harris on Act Blue. If you'd like to help him out. And again, I don't normally do this, and I probably won't do it for anybody else. But it's just because he's from what I've heard, he's a decent dude, retired brigadier general, and so he's got leadership skills. And Marjorie Taylor Greene has no business anywhere near anything that has to do with authority, in my personal opinion. All right. Um, this is okay. You can only donate. It was 2,000 when I first ran, and then 2,500. I think it's 3,300 now. Each individual person can only donate $3,300, 3,003 only. Like, shit, $3,300 is 3 months for me. But you can only donate $3,300 each cycle. So you can donate $3,300 in a primary cycle and then $3,300 in the general cycle. However, because of various rulings, there are these things called super PACs, and there's this thing called dark money, and where there are no real limits as to what you can contribute. So, once again, the voice of average citizens is getting drowned out, especially in the political systems, because we do not have campaign financing. And my vision of campaign financing, and this is why I never got elected, because this makes sense, and the government or the people would love it and totally get it, and the lawmakers and career politicians don't want it at all. But you don't limit, um, you limit the spending. Okay, you don't limit the contributions, you limit the spending. And guys like Elon Musk will say, well, that's taking away my free speech because I have more money. I should have my speech should mean more. And it does the way it's set up now. But is that right? Is that correct? Is that the way we ought to be doing things? No. Instead, we are at each other's throats over two people that have no idea who most of us even are and could give two shits less about any of us. Quite frankly, one may give a little bit more of a shit than the other, but enough to make us kill each other? I don't think so. But that's just me. Elon Musk plans to support Donald Trump's campaign by contributing $45 million a month. $45 million a month to a new super PAC aimed at electing President Trump. That's that takes a bunch of us at $3,300 playing fair, playing by the rules. Not that Biden doesn't have super PACs and et cetera, et cetera. And while I say Biden, let me go ahead and touch on this. Let me just say that the talk has not gone away. All right, you're going to hear mainstream legacy media, whatever you want to call them, the bought and paid for people. You're going to hear them saying, well, there's 100% unity now behind Joe Biden. Nobody's questioning. Yeah, they really are. Every time he does anything, questions arise. He did an interview tonight with Lester Holt, and it wasn't as big a disaster as the debate was, but when 33% of your own party say they're happy with the candidate and 67% of likely Democratic voters say they want somebody different, there is too much risk of that translating to the ballot box to allow that to move forward, because that pretty much guarantees the election of uh, Bandage right here. So um, the talk hasn't stopped. The talk hasn't stopped at all. Matter of fact, now the talk is to top Biden aides, not to Biden himself, but to top Biden aides, reminding them that his legacy could be in jeopardy. He's got a good legacy at the moment if he just finishes this out and lets somebody else take it January 21st. If he doesn't and Trump wins, he's the guy that killed democracy in a lot of people's eyes. That's how it's going to play out in a lot of people's minds. So it hadn't ended. Just keep in mind that the people that are talking on the TVs um, all have agendas. They have things they can say and they can't say. And while some of them might try to occasionally or as often as they can uh, get something out in the best interest of the people, the majority of the time it is not for our best interest. The things that we are told, it's very selective, as you know on here. If you watch this, you know that in 2 or 3 days something we talk about on here may show up on a legacy. Maybe it's the next day depending on how big it is, but very rarely um, are they talking about stuff that really does truly matter, like this. President Joe Biden tried to call the widow of the man that was killed Saturday, but she declined to speak to him since her husband was a devout Republican, and he would not have wanted her to talk to him. But she added that she does not hold the current president responsible for what happened to her family. I don't have any ill will towards Joe Biden, quote unquote, she said. Quote, I'm not one of those people that gets involved in politics. I support Trump. That's who I'm voting for, but I don't have ill will towards Biden, end quote. He didn't do anything to my husband. A 20-year-old despicable kid did, quote unquote. The family has not heard from Trump, she added. I think it kind of says everything right there. If it comes down to these two, it's going to come down to this kind of thing right here. The fact that Biden tried, the fact Trump didn't care about anything other than himself. Where the brown people at? Alex Cole asks. This is the overhead shot of the very beginning of the Republican National Convention today. Their opening session of the convention, and as you can see, awful lot of white people. For a country as diverse as we are, I don't know. Is it concerning? Does it mean anything? It's something to think about, I believe. But that's for you to decide. Let's see, what are they saying? Get the volume up here. I thought they were saying Heil there for a moment. They're saying fight, I believe. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're saying, but that's the start of their convention. Started today. Trump and J.D. Vance nominated for um, president and vice president, respectfully, officially. Um, Also in the news today, before we get to the shooting of last Saturday, um, the judge, Eileen Cannon, um, dismissed the Trump documents case where the nuclear secrets and all the list of our spies that was given allegedly to someone that started eliminating them. There's a lot of stuff in this, allegedly. She dismissed the case, and I, among others, went just like, okay, I totally expected this. This is what's going to happen. And was upset about it because I kind of like justice and the American way and all that kind of stuff, or what maybe what we were, um, the illusion we were sold of what the American way should be, because the actual people that are, well, never mind, that's a tangent we're not going to go down, but you know what I'm saying. If you know, you know. Anyway, the after talking with an attorney friend, who said that this could be a really bad thing for Trump, because now um, there are several courses of action that Jack Smith could take. And this is from Scott McFarland from CBS News. One of those forms of action has been authorized by the Department of Justice, and that is to appeal this court order. If that appeal happened, it would go to the 11th Circuit Court, and that is the overseer of the 11th Circuit Court on the Supreme Court happens to be one Judge Clarence Thomas. So we'll talk about some other options coming up. This is I showed you the beginning of the convention inside. Here is the beginning of the convention outside, and there we go. Make sure we get the volume up. Here we go. They're chanting no Trump, no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. Um, Republicans calling for civil war. This was one of the responses to Marjorie Taylor Greene. In case you're just joining us, Marjorie Taylor Greene posting about she doesn't want a World War III, she wants a Civil War II. Republicans calling for civil war in response to one of their own shooting another of their own is the most Republican thing ever. I just found that rather humorous. J.D. Vance, in his own words, 25 seconds here, in case I've said, it's in the title. This is a dangerous pick, and I'll reiterate all the reasons when we're wrapping up.
J.D. Vance, in his own words.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him. As somebody who doesn't like Trump, I might have to hold my nose and vote for Hillary Clinton. I didn't vote for Trump because I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious, him being really outrageous and offensive.
On Twitter, Vance called Trump, quote, reprehensible, an idiot, and Vance loves Mitt Romney.
I'm a never Trump guy.
That's the real J.D. Vance.
Okay. There's that commercial right there is not going to play well, because it just shows that this guy doesn't have any morals. He had morals. He had an opinion that he's sold down the river for power and ambition, and possibly to take revenge on people as Trump plans to do. Just something to think about. But is this going to add to Trump's appeal? I don't know. It's not going to. All it's going to do. Only people that are going to like this are people that already like him, and that's not how you win a presidential election. But maybe it won't matter if you're running against Joe Biden. Maybe it's just the opposite, and it wouldn't matter if the Democrats ran Donald Duck, he would win. That's what Democrats think. I don't think that way. Again, past comments on Trump might be America's Hitler, might be a cynical a-hole. He's a cultural heroine, noxious and reprehensible. This from Fox News. Yes, this is Representative Jeff Jackson from North Carolina. Really good dude. Lots of conspiracy theories flying around about the assassination attempts, what he says. Here's what I've learned in the last 24 hours. As I said, we're going to take a look back at what happened. Kind of touched on it a little bit already, but we're going to take a look back at what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being in the chat. And if you're not in the chat yet, hop in there and let us know what you think. And I'm going to take a real small pause while you listen to the congressman.
There are a ton of conspiracy theories flying around about the attempted assassination. And rather than tell you what to think, I'm just going to give you all the information I have as a member of Congress who has focused solely on this for the last 24 hours. The shooter was on a rooftop 148 yards away. That roof was outside of the security perimeter set up by the Secret Service, which meant that location was not secure. They did have a counter sniper in place who spotted the shooter before he opened fire and had his rifle aimed at him, which is why the shooter was taken down within 3 seconds of his first shot. The shooter was 20 years old. He used an AR-15 variant registered to his father. They found 2 explosive devices in his car. He had worked full-time at a nursing home and had no criminal record. In addition to wounding the former president, he seriously injured several people in the crowd and killed a father who was using his body to shield his family. Congress has already announced a full investigation, including into the planning and performance of the Secret Service. That investigation will probably be carried out by the Oversight Committee, which is kind of bad news because at least this term, the Oversight Committee has been the most partisan committee in Congress. So we have to hope that this issue gets treated differently. There are a lot of security conversations in Congress right now about the threat of copycat violence and retaliation. One of the unique risks associated with political violence is that it can trigger retaliation and create a spiral. But the truth is, any act of political violence creates an indelible stain on a country. That's why you'll hear from nearly every elected official in both parties condemning this. For the vast majority of Congress, I think this is going to be a moment of seriousness and solidarity. There will be some exceptions. Some extreme members are going to say some crazy stuff to try and get your attention. Please do your best not to give it to them. And please know, this is truly one of the darkest chapters of American politics that any of us has ever lived through. But we will get through it. We can still write the next chapter in a way that makes us proud. We are still an extremely powerful nation and a good people, and our union shall endure as we endeavor toward its perfection.
Might be a good vice presidential candidate if there is like a Michelle Obama at the top of the ticket as a member of the black community and also a female. Congressman is a solid man, and I don't know, just something to think about. I hadn't really planned on saying that. It just popped into my head after I got done listening to him. Like, yeah, I remember this guy. He's uh, he's good. Um, Again, here's the message in case you didn't see it before. America's Hitler, J.D. Vance, and we also showed earlier um, the note from his roommate back in law school. White nationalist Tyler Russell's cartoon response to the assassination attempt. He says it's time. It's time to burn the Constitution, light the Nazi cigar, and create a dictatorship with Trump at the helm of the dictatorship. Um, it's sad that there are people in this country that think that way, but I think we do need to recognize it and be aware of it. Trump just asked for RFK Jr. to have Secret Service. Biden had approved that or ordered that, I think, ahead of time before that because of what happened on Saturday. I don't know. I believe so. But is last time RFK Jr. sent a tweet about that, he used the number 1488. RFK Jr. did in the first sentence. When I filmed these Nazis in Orlando, I asked them if they got the message, and they said that yes, he's one of us. RFK Jr. is one of them. 14 words and Heil Hitler, eighth letter of the alphabet. Trump knows that this guy is in the race, invited by Bannon, Flynn, and Roger Stone to take votes away from Biden. All right. That's this person's theory. And she's not alone in this theory. There are a lot of people that think or know that to be true. But I want you to hear the dialogue.
Junior, he is also a white supremacist. RFK Jr. believes in a white America. You say RFK Jr.
Oh, and that's when you tweeted 1488.
You support.
You tweeted 14 seconds.
With them to act as if he is truly a friend of the Jew, when in reality he's a friend of white America. The Jews have come to realize that Ron DeSantis isn't the guy they thought he was. They've come to understand that he is truly out for what is in the best interest of white America, because he knows that white America is the only way America can still sustain itself and prosper.
He said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And if you vote for him again, he gets in, he's not going to do it.
They're talking about Trump.
He married all of his kids off to Jews.
Yeah.
Because he knows the system.
Hang on, let me back that up. I shouldn't have interrupted. I apologize, but I wanted to make sure everybody had the context.
Best interest of white America, because he knows that white America is the only state prosper.
No, well, he's a pussy. He didn't do anything he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And if you vote for him again, he gets in, he's not going to do it. He married all of his kids off to Jews.
Because he knows the system. He knows the Jews. So how marry off your kids and keep that power?
He's another politician. He fucking jerks you off until you vote for him, and then he doesn't do shit for you.
We're Ron DeSantis supporters. We like Ron DeSantis.
He actually did shit for us. He should shut down Disney World. It's run by Kyles.
Do you remember
The
when
black people might run
RFK
you over
tweeted
'cause
out
they're angry.
1488?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
You heard it, right?
Oh, we believe it.
I heard him trying to signal to us we're his loyal followers.
Oh, yeah, we support him totally.
And RFK Jr.
Oh, and RFK.
We sent that 1488 out. We're like, what is that? The 14 words and
88.
Heil Hitler.
88 means HH, Hail Hitler.
There we go. The 88, the eighth letter of the alphabet being H, and 88 being code for Heil Hitler, not only in America, but around the world. This was from Fernando Oliver Esquire. Just pretend Trump is a child and ignore the shooting like you do all the others. A lot of people feel that way. People that are all riled up over this happening to Donald Trump haven't been all riled up over this happening in schools or in supermarkets or, you know. All right. As I mentioned, we're going to get more to this. Now that Cannon has dismissed the case on procedural grounds, Smith has some options. And here are the options Jack Smith has for those of you that are concerned about and if you're not, you should be, about justice being served and a trial being conducted and guilt or innocence being determined. Smith can immediately appeal to the 11th Circuit Court, which could remove Cannon for a frivolous decision, and that appeal would likely go to SCOTUS. Smith can now file a new case through the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Smith can refile the same case in another jurisdiction, like Washington, D.C. Smith can file a case against Cannon down the line for bias against the government. We're not going to have a trial before the election, but there still are options. And we know that the appeal to the Circuit Court has indeed been approved by the United States Department of Justice. Again, if you just joined us, the scroll started with, we don't need World War III. What we need is Civil War II. This was released ahead of the convention opening 13 hours ago. Anyone who speaks with the press, even on background or off the record, will be found and terminated immediately. Refrain from commenting, speculating, posting on social media, etc. Complete and total lockdown. End quote. I wonder what they're hiding. What are they afraid of getting out? In case you weren't with us yesterday, 1 hour before the Trump rally, he says, all hell breaks loose in 1 hour. And then, alert, when I take the stage, I could be making a major announcement that's sure to strike fear into the hearts of the deep state enemies. He did not do that. He picked Vance. So before my rally kicks off, normally here is the button that you click to donate money. But on this occasion, it says, so before my rally kicks off in 60 minutes, I need to know, will you be tuning in? Question mark. So instead of money, he wanted eyes on this event. And every major media outlet was at this event. Normally, you can only find Trump rallies on, the site with Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend. But on this one, they were all there. It's just something to think about. It's just another anomaly because they aren't at these. They don't show these things live. They very rarely cover them. The local press will be there. The traveling press will be there. But you don't normally have all these feeds that you had on Saturday. It's just another anomaly in my opinion. But moving on, what else is the internet saying? Let's find out. Republicans, pedophiles should be shot. Also Republicans, no, not that one. Just an impression Derek the Jedi seems to have. All right, this is a post. This is the segment of the night because right here in this tweet, it wraps up everything. Blair White says Donald Trump took a bullet for this country. If you're voting for anyone else, you can go farg yourself. That's where I'm at. That's where she's at. That's where a lot of the country's at now. Donald Trump is a war hero. Uh, Elvis says, I took bullets for this country. I took IEDs for this country. I took 4 stabbings in Afghanistan for this country. Farg you bitch and farg him too. The only thing he took for America was advantage of dumb farg nuts like you and the entire nation. So he's basically not a fan, and this doesn't change his opinion of what happened at all. Um, that pretty much sums up how the country is. Like I said, it's not going to, it may be worth a point or two now, but this isn't like when Reagan was shot. It just isn't because, well, Reagan was really actually, never mind. Barbara McQuaid also explaining that she thinks on MSNBC that this dismissal could be a blessing in disguise, and Trump could be reindicted in a couple of weeks with a different judge presiding. So this kind of all got lost in everything, and that was the reason she put it out today, was because it was the first day of the convention, because it's 2 days after the incident, and she knew what she was doing. Video of a fight in downtown Nashville from the 14th, from Sunday, involving the neo-Nazi Goyim Defense League. Goyim, Goyim, right here. Goyim is what Jews call non-Jews. If you're not a Jew, you're Goyim, and these there's no question whether these are Nazis or not.
Come on. Steph took the fucking road, bro. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, that's enough. And probably weren't aware that happened. Former President Trump just been shot. This is what we ended with last night. 3 Secret Service smiling. Alleged. They may not even be Secret Service if what Boingoino or whatever his name is, Dan, that you know who I'm talking about, former Secret Service guy on YouTube. If what he was saying and they had replaced some of their actual Secret Service, people said this is fake. This is fake. Well, there's no content fake thing like let me scroll down here and find one so you know what. Oh, the bear from last night. Maybe I don't have one because I don't put a lot of fake stuff up. Accidentally, every once in a while, we'll put something up that proves to be not true, and we'll get investigated and either say we do or we don't. And so far, by the way, Thomas Crooks that donated to the Act Blue is a 69-year-old guy from Pittsburgh. It's not the 20-year-old that was responsible, or a patsy. There are those that think he's nothing but a patsy, and there were others involved. Allegedly, the audio is being analyzed, and there might be the sound of 3 weapons, not just three different weapons, might have fired on Saturday. So a lot of unanswered questions, and a lot of people are going to be trying to sweep this under the rug. I don't know. Maybe I don't have anything up here that's even been questionable, which would be, I thought I had something. Surely I had something that somebody had. There we go. Here's one. This is what readers added context. What did I? It says this is not the shooter. Okay, I never said. All right, this is. Oh, I see. Because this is. They said it's the. It was. Okay, I used this because it was showing. I used this view because it wasn't. It was far enough away that it wouldn't be as disturbing as some of the other footage I had from people really up close of them taking the dead man out of there, the man that lost his life. And he says it's the shooter, so that's why they added context. And so it wasn't false on my part to use that. But that, again, these things come up if things are questioned, and we've got that back up there. So um, let me pop back up to the top, and let me show you one more time. If here we go. In case you missed it, this is Trump, and I've got video footage of him walking in, and he looks dismayed. He doesn't look happy. He's not. Doesn't look like he wants to be there. He looks maybe even like a dead man walking in the video I've got. Real solemn, and he might know, because again, the QAnon people are livid. The QAnon people are livid that JD Vance is the choice. Not only was it not John F. Kennedy Jr., not only was it not Barron, just telling everybody blatantly that this is a dictatorship. No. And not even General Mike Flynn, who was, I'm told that Trump was told that if you don't choose Mike Flynn as your vice president, you're not going to have a long tenure. I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. But, and that may be why he doesn't look so happy, because he knows there are consequences to the choice he made. That's what happens in the mob. That's what happens in criminal organizations. Just saying. So, Secret Service taking a lot of blame over what happened Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. And I played this last night, I thought, but evidently it didn't make it onto the stream. And while I was focusing on getting it out there, I was unaware that it wasn't on. So I talked about it, but there's some dead air there, and the reason was this wasn't showing. And as soon as it begins, here we go.
State officials began to see the service absent. As a result, it just raises all sorts of questions about why the Secret Service is not willing to answer questions.
So again, I'm the Secret Service's RNC coordinator, so I can speak to the RNC security planning. I'd refer any questions regarding yesterday's incident to our DC Public Affairs Office.
Okay, so starting out, once the Secret Service does come out to hold a press conference, They missed the one at 11:45 with the FBI and the Pennsylvania State Troopers, and none of them could answer questions because it was a Secret Service perimeter. So now the Secret Service schedules a press conference, and they bring out the person in the Secret Service that is in charge of the convention, therefore is not going to answer any questions about what happened at Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yes, ma'am. Mark Meredith, Fox News. I'm curious. Obviously, you don't want to talk about what happened in Pennsylvania. Have you had to change your security posture at all here? And if so, how? Is it a small percent change? Is it looking at over everything once again? And then the follow-up question would be, just in terms of resources, I know you mentioned 18 months has been going into this. Do you feel like you had all the resources you needed to get to this point today, or do you feel like more work was?
So as Mayor Johnson and Chief mentioned, this is a national special security event. That designation is the highest level of security designation that the federal government can determine. So we are confident in these security plans that are in place for this event, and we're ready to go. It's been an 18-month process. We've worked together over that 18 months to develop operational security plans for any and all aspects of security related to this event.
So she basically repeats that answer throughout the rest of the press conference. I'm not sure anyone's surprised at that. Our friend Chris sent me this last piece of the night, and again, we're finishing up here with a quick look back at what happened, Butler County or Butler, Pennsylvania, and on Saturday. And I found this really interesting. This is from a CBS Evening News broadcast 7 years ago, and this is what they saw when they were inside the Secret Service sniper team.
Obama arrived in New York this evening for the start of the United Nations General Assembly. As always, the president is accompanied by hundreds of Secret Service members watching his every move. Margaret Brennan met some of the sharpshooters in charge of protecting him.
Left edge! The Secret Service's elite counter sniper team is trained to hit targets dead on.
Hit in the forehead.
We have to be ready to drop down and take that shot.
Or in the worst case scenario, put themselves in the line of fire. Travis has been on the force for a decade.
600-yard board.
You signed up to take a bullet for the president.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot to sign up for.
It is, absolutely.
Wherever the president is, counter snipers protect him from above. They work in teams of two, armed with high-powered assault rifles that can hit would-be assassins hundreds of yards away.
Left log!
The key to an accurate hit is the wind caller. Here it's Travis,
Sir!
telling his partner Terry precisely how to aim to counteract the wind.
Left edge!
So you really have to trust the partner.
Absolutely. Completely.
You can take the shot, you can make the call, either way.
If I see the target, I'll drop down, he'll start calling. If he sees the target, I'll become the communicator and wind caller. And he's just thinking about pressing the trigger.
The most complicated scenarios are in crowds overseas in unfamiliar terrain. During a recent presidential trip to Poland, Dennis, a 10-year veteran of the team, was concerned about how a sniper might conceal himself among the buildings lining the motorcade route.
The president's going to come around here. I'm going to assume all these people are going to come out looking out their windows. You potentially could have 1,000 open windows right here.
In this age of frequent terror attacks, open windows are not the only concern.
We're worried about suicide bombers. We're worried about car bombs. You look at a car that makes you suspicious. Or a guy that's walking down the street in July and he's got a heavy coat on. This doesn't looking for the unusual.
Remarkably, no sniper team member has had to fire a shot since the unit was formed in 1971.
That changed. And again, remember what Chris said. If you watched the show, Chris last night talked about you look for the anomalies. You look for the things that shouldn't be there. And again, I'm not going to get into it tonight, but on Wednesday, we'll probably, depending on what happens between now and Wednesday, if we've got some time on Wednesday, we'll look at some of the other things that are being talked about, such as the potential audio evidence that there were 3 separate guns used, and that would indicate a second shooter. And we'll also look at just how it played out. One report I've got is that the counter sniper team was aware of the guy on the building, but did not know if he was dangerous or just trying to get a video. And then he shot, and as soon as he shot, they neutralized him, making it sound like he only shot one time. I talked about this and showed the report last night. So there are a lot of questions that are yet to be answered at what happened as to what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. And I don't know, we might never know the answer to some of them, because the world we live in, it just more and more intense things keep happening, and things get tossed under the rug. Trump gets shot at, or is nicked on the ear, or is hit with a piece of glass, or is cut open WWE style while they're all on top of him. Something, and immediately the talk of, there wasn't any talk of Epstein anyway, because there are too many media people and other politicians involved. They don't want the Epstein thing out. We are going to have to do that as citizens somehow. We're going to have to remind people constantly that needs to be on the radar until there are answers. Project 2025, again, J.D. Vance, the vice presidential choice of Donald Trump, is allegedly a web administrator on the Project 2025 website. And the QAnons are hairs on fire. They were lied to. They were told it was going to be John F. Kennedy Jr. They were told it could be Barron Trump to signify that they're out in the open, and Trump is being as radical as they want him to be in declaring a dictatorship now and just marching on Washington and taking over. That's what they want. And General Flynn, who they thought would be, if he doesn't choose JFK Jr. and he doesn't choose Barron and a blatant dictatorship, surely he'll choose General Mike Flynn. And he didn't. He chose a corporate, globalist, traditional politician, a senator. And he chose one of the most dangerous people in the Senate. Mitt Romney said he didn't think he despised anyone more. Now, I don't know what you think about Mitt Romney, but that's a pretty harsh thing for Mitt Romney to say if you don't know him. And he's not going to increase the vote. Will he energize the MAGAs? Yeah. That is the extreme part of the Republican Party. There are Republicans that are not MAGA. I hear from them all the time. And a lot of them are telling me, hey, if that idea about Michelle Obama and thus having Barack Obama as as her main advisor, being the first gentleman, hey, that doesn't sound bad. So there are a lot of Republicans that are desperate for an alternative to Donald Trump, and they're going to be even more desperate now that it's J.D. Vance. So um, let me jump over here and say hi to Pat Tolliver, Telescope, 100% Black. You have other news. I have other news. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I've got an email or something I'm unaware of, or a message or something. I've got some other news, but I'll check into that. Hello, Fred. And Elon needs to take to outer space and stay there. Thank you, not going away. Michelle would have a strong chance of winning because the experience Barack would bring as the first gentleman, and she would also invigorate districts like Sean Harris's that we've been talking about, that is running against Marjorie Taylor Greene. But she has said, which is what you do. You say, no, I don't want to run. I don't want to run. And then they convince you to run, which shows you that you're going to have support, which you got to have, because if you go out there and run by yourself, you look like this guy named Santa, who was going to run for Congress in Ohio. I challenged him to debates for a few weeks, I was going to show him what he was going to be up against, and he shouldn't be messing around with it. And I think he went to Thailand or Philippines and went somewhere and almost died. So, but he wouldn't have had any support. And in order to do this, you got to have support. So this is a time when behind the scenes, it's just a matter of you got to get both Biden and Harris out of the way before you can put Michelle at the top of the ticket, or it gets messy. But still, even if it gets messy, something is going to have to be done, because I don't think Joe is going to instill enough confidence. And that's just my personal opinion. Okay. Normally I don't tell you what to think, and I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just telling you what I think. I don't think Joe's going to instill enough confidence to secure victory. Too many people will vote. Like I said, the Republicans that won't vote for Trump, a lot of them aren't going to vote for Biden now. They were considering it before, but and I know there are diehard Democrats that are out there saying, "You people need to shut up." Hey, it's my country too. I'm entitled to an opinion too. And just because I'm not a Democrat or a Republican doesn't mean I don't have a right to an opinion. So, but I love you. Don't get me wrong. All right. Thank you all for being here. I am going to take tomorrow night off and watch Skinwalker Ranch and Beyond Skinwalker Ranch and something else, and not the convention and not social media, unless something mega happens. So I'll be back Wednesday. And then Thursday, we'll have Trump's speech on. So I'll be on earlier on Thursday. But I'm going to try to come on Wednesday at 10 o'clock instead of 11. And if there's not a lot of big news, I'm going to come on and just put the link up and have an opinion episode where we get the opinions of those of you valuable people tuning in, because I love you all. I greatly appreciate you all. I thank you all. Blessings upon each and every one of you, and may God have mercy on the United States of America. It is a dark world. Do try to be a light. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share, and peace, love, and soul trade. See you next time.